Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Abroad Map. In this channel I'm sharing videos in relation to nursing in Australia and different types of visa processing while you are in Australia. Today's video is particularly about how you can become a registered nurse in Australia. If you are the nurse outside from the Australia, this is the video, right one for you in order to get a registration in Australia and practice as a registered nurse. So let's go straight to the information. Before we know about the ways to get registration in Australia, let's see who is responsible for you to get the license to practice as a registered nurse in Australia. It's AHPRA, the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency. This is the main agency that regulates the practice of health professionals nurse across the Australia, and AHPRA oversees more than 50 national boards, and among them one of them is NMBA, which is Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia, about which you got to know before you get your license. The NMBA regulates the practice of nursing and midwifery across the Australia. And now let's talk about the ways to get registration with AHPRA. Before March 2020, we had a program called as Bridging Program. Now the Bridging Program has been taken away from AHPRA, and this is now replaced by another way known as OBA pathway, which is outcome-based assessment. In this video, I'm going to talk in detail about OBA pathway. Second way to get your registration in Australia is doing any post-graduation courses that would lead to nursing registration. You can do Masters of Nursing leading to nursing registration. Another way is to get or do nursing conversion courses. This one is the most costly course, and after you do the conversion courses, you have to go through the assessment and you will get the registration. Now let's talk about OBA pathway, which is outcome-based assessment. The outcome-based assessment includes NCLEX and OSCE. NCLEX is the test of your theoretical knowledge, which includes the MCQ exam, and OSCE, also called OSCE, is Objective Structured Clinical Examination, which is the practical test. Let's see what are the eligibility criteria for you to do OBA. First one is you should be qualified internationally. Means if you have got your bachelor's degree from Nepal or India, yes, you are qualified to do OBA. You definitely need your bachelor's degree for you to go through OBA pathway in Australia, because if you have done PCL from Nepal or GNM from India, you are not qualified for this one. And for you to do OBA, you don't need to have any experience before you give your NCLEX or OSCE. Another question would be, do you really need to do your English examination test, for example PTE, OET or IELTS for OBA? I would say it's no. Before you clear your NCLEX or OSCE, you don't need to have PTE or IELTS or OET, but this would be required only when you have completed your OSCE and NCLEX. Once you know that you want to get registration from Australia, it's time for you to process. While processing, there are different steps that you need to go through, and you will have to pay in different phases as well. So let's see what are those phases of your procedure while you are doing registration in AHPRA. First one is your self-check. While doing the self-check, you have to pay for the IQNM assessment fee. This is the self-check phase, is the one which will give you an idea whether you are eligible for going through the nursing registration process in Australia or not. I'm going to talk about in detail about self-check, which websites to use, and how you are going to fill up the forms while you are doing self-check in this video. When you do the self-check, there will be stream classification, which means it is based on your qualification, which stream are you on. You will be knowing more about this later on. Continue to watch, please. Then you will see the orientation part 1, followed by portfolio stage where you will submit your documentation. After that you will have to give your NCLEX, followed by passing the NCLEX examination. You have to do your OSCE and then apply for the registration. Before you know that you have to do the processing, you should also know what will be the entire cost of your registration. Let's break down the cost one by one. While doing self-check, you have to pay $410 Australian dollar. You can use your debit card or credit card. Next step would be while you are giving your NCLEX examination, you have to pay $250 US dollar to Pearson VUE. And next would be OSCE fees, that would be $400 Australian dollar, and at the time of registration it's $489 Australian dollar. I know it's a bit costly, but this is it. You have to pay it if you need to get the registration with AHPRA. Now let's see how will you do self-check in AHPRA's website. In order to do self-check, you have to go to the website www.nursingmidwiferyboard.gov.au. Once you go to this website, you will see the page. This is the one that you will be seeing. And then you have to click on accreditation. Once you click on accreditation, you will see self-check and portfolio options. There are different options in accreditation. What you have to choose is self-check and portfolio. If you scroll down, you will see something known as completing the self-check. I recommend you, whatever is the page is displaying, I recommend you to go through all of them and understand it before you go to the further process. When you click on completing self-check, you will see another page. Then you have to scroll down. While you scroll down, you will see ready to complete the self-check, and then you will see the button commence self-check. Click on it and go to another page. Next page would be about self-check. So who should do the self-check and who should not do the self-check. If you are qualified from New Zealand, you are not supposed to do the self-check, and then there will be information in regards to how to complete your self-check. After reading the information on each page, then continue to press on next. You will see privacy procedures as well as the disclaimer button. Then you will see the page, profession and division. In this, you just need to select for which you are going to do the registration. If you are going to do the registration for registered nurse, you have to select the options, registered nurse here. Then select the next button. Then answer all the questions that appears. So it says, do you hold any current registration as a registered nurse in New Zealand? For us, it's no. Then click the next button. Next would be the question, have you previously held general registration as a registered nurse in Australia? This would definitely be no for us. Continue to click on next button once you answer the question of the page. For example, here the next page is referral letter. Do you hold a referral letter for board approved bridging program letter or referral to OBA letter? If you have got any of these, you have to do yes, but for us who haven't gone through this process before, the answer would be no. Then click on the button next. Then it will ask you to give the primary qualification, enter your country where qualification was obtained. For me, I have done it from India, so I kept as India. Another is enter the name of the institution or university or college of the examination body. Mine was Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Next one is to enter your qualification. I studied my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing Basic from Rajiv Gandhi University of Australia. Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. And then next question is to enter your year of completion. I completed in 2016 and click on the button check my qualification. Once you click on the check my qualification, it will see whether your it will just process your qualification, and then next question that would be appeared is, do you have any other qualification relevant to your profession as a registered nurse? If you have done any master's degree, for example master's in public health, or master's in nursing international, or master of any nursing in Nepal or India itself, you can say as yes, but for me it's no. After this you have to go to next. When you do the next, it will give you the summary of your information. Go and keep scrolling down, and it will show you the next step to proceed for your assessment phase. Then click on the button proceed. It will give you the disclaimer again, acknowledgement about what you are going to do in further steps. Here you have to say I accept. You have to accept all the conditions before you go through the procedure. Then it will ask you to pay for the IQNM assessment fee. IQNM, the Internationally Qualified Nurses and Midwives. You have to go through the assessment phase. This assessment phase, the AHPRA will assess whether your documents and qualifications are good enough or is sufficient enough for you to continue towards the journey of registration in Australia. Previously, I had said that once you do your self-check, there will be classification of your stream, whether stream A or stream B or stream C. For me, where I have completed my bachelor's degree from India, I was classified as stream B. That means I have to go to OBA pathway. But if you have completed your degree from US or Canada or UK or New Zealand, you will be classified as stream A. In this phase, you might not have, if you are classified as stream A, you won't need to go through the OBA pathway, but for stream B you have to go through the OBA pathway, that is NCLEX and OSCE. And the stream C people that they are classified as not qualified to continue for the registration for registered nurses. Once you pay for the IQNM assessment fees or self-check process, you will be asked to complete this orientation part 1. In this orientation part 1, you will see an online learning portal. This online learning portal is all about Australia and Australian healthcare context. This will also give an overview about the roles and functions of nurses and midwives across Australian healthcare settings. Once you finish your orientation part 1, there comes your portfolio stage. After finishing your IQNM and orientation, you will be asked to submit your documents. In this portfolio stage, you have to also provide your additional personal contact information and upload all the identifications and qualification certificates. Now let's see what are the documents you would require in this portfolio stage. The identification documents that you can use for the IQNM assessment is national ID, passport, driving licenses, birth certificates and visa documents if you have any. And the qualification certificates that you can use would be your degree certificates, your transcripts, your nursing license from your current country. And based on these documents, you will be verified for your next step. The AHPRA will review all your portfolio documents and advise you of the next step. The next step is if all the documents are correct enough and has also been attested. Let me remind you, all your documents needs to be attested by a concerned authority before you submit them. Once your portfolio gets reviewed by AHPRA, the AHPRA will advise you to go through MCQ examination, that's your NCLEX, followed by OSCE. Then once you finish your NCLEX examination and OSCE, you have to apply for the registration. In my upcoming videos, I'm going to talk in detail about your MCQ and NCLEX examination, so please keep on following my channel. After application for the registration, you will be asked to complete your orientation part 2. You have got 6 months of duration to finish this orientation part 2. It has got 4 modules and it will give an overview about what are your responsibilities while working as registered nurse across the system of Australian healthcare system. The first module is about the Australian healthcare system and role. Second module is about what is person and woman-centered care. Third module is about what is culturally safe practice or self-care. Module 4 is about your responsibilities while working in Australian healthcare system. You don't need to have to worry about orientation part 2 until you have got your registration as well. So this is it, friends. These are the information that you would require while you are going to do registration with AHPRA and get your license for registered nurse. So friends, this is it. I hope you have got all the information that you would require while you are going to do registration in Australia as a registered nurse. Now that you have got all the information through my video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, A Broad Map. I hope you guys have cleared your doubt. If you have any questions or queries or you want to know more about any other topics in relation to nursing in Australia, please do comment down below with this video. I would definitely make a separate video on those topics as well. Until then, keep supporting my channel A Broad Map. Thank you. Bye bye.